This is my documentary on violent video games and how they affect children. Video games can have many different types of violence in them. The most common violence is that these games have mass murder with guns and explosives. Most violent video games can simulate real life. When there is a shooting, it's hard not to compare it to a first-person shooter video game. It's strange to talk about a mass murderer playing violent video games for hours and hours, which is something that they can share with millions of other people. The majority of mass murderers or young children that have killed people play popular violent video games such as Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. This does not mean that young people or children will become murderers after playing violent video games. They may become a bit aggressive though. Some kids can easily play violent video games because their parents don't understand what the violent video games include and how they could affect their children. The parents don't monitor what their kids play and they let their kids do whatever they want. Some video games can be very entertaining without showing any violence, while there could still be violence there, such as Train Simulator or SimCity. There is deaths in SimCity which could be classed as violent, and there are also crashes in Train Simulator which people might class as violent. These simulator games can be very helpful in teaching kids how different things work, such as how trains work and what trucks do to deliver their cargo, or how a farm would work, or how to build a sustainable city. These simulators are not completely real or true because they cannot copy reality into just a game. Games can help people develop skills such as problem solving, communication, teamwork, hand-eye coordination and improved reactions. Video games can be very helpful in monitoring brainwaves and attention spans. They can help with therapy, social skills and pain management. They are also helpful with detecting different phobias. Parents blame violence on video games. They blame video games because sometimes they are the most obvious things to blame and they are easy to blame. Another reason they blame video games is because the games teach people that there are no consequences to death, because as soon as you die, you spawn back in the game. Parents listen to the media when they say that video games are to blame for violence. Video games can also teach that using violence is the way to resolve conflicts or arguments. Some parents let their kids play violent video games such as Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty because they do not understand what these games include and how they could affect their children. Sometimes they don't recognise or take into consideration the age rating at the bottom right of the game case, which tells what age rating the game should be for, such as Grand Theft Auto being an 18 because of the violence and the swear words. Governments and councils put in laws so that shops can't sell video games to kids that are below the age limit. To sum it all up, parents should find out what the game contains, they should follow the age rating, parents should research the game to find out if the game has any violence in it.
Do you play violent video games?
Yes.
Did the games make you aggressive?
I didn't feel any more aggressive after I played the games than before I did.
Do you agree that violent video games cause violence?
I feel like if they were capable to do that, then they were unstable before they start playing the video games.
How do you feel about the media blaming video games for violence?
I feel like video games are an extremely easy thing to point at the violence.